Right, well, good morning, everybody.
Good morning.
Almost the halfway point. Well, we are halfway point through June now. Officially over the weekend. We did a good weekend. Hopefully everybody made it through Thursday's colossal sized hail event. I'm still assessing my truck and deciding whether or not I'm going to make a claim or not. I got beat up kind of rough.
That side did.
Yeah, the heat when the heat picked back up, it kind of popped a little bit of it out. I'm thinking, I don't know, everybody else is gonna make a claim, which means my insurance is just gonna go up anyway, so might as well get a piece of the pie. I'm saying that out loud, but I don't know. I'm debating on that one, so. No broken windows or anything structural, just lots of pings. It was weird looking hail too.
Well, it was like flat.
Yeah, it went from flat to like east side, so like boom.
There
It's
was
like,
this.
oh crap.
I thought we'd been in town and headed that.
Yeah.
It didn't hit that.
Lucky you.
Yeah, one of our Jan's car, we're going, oh no.
Hey, you got a brand new car, so yeah.
Yeah.
Anyway, with that said, we'll start off with some public comments this morning. Do we, any public comments? Go ahead. Yeah.
Good morning, Commissioners. My name is Jared from Pennsylvania, but I just wanted to stop by this morning and invite all three of you to the City County meeting that will be happening this Thursday. Should be at 4 o'clock. The agenda is coming out today. I just called. It usually comes out a week prior, but they had some internet issues. But we won't be discussing the US 24 corridor study update plan. I've gone to Potawatomi County as well and talked to the city. So we're hoping to have all the commissioners there so we can discuss the future of that corridor study. Thank you.
Anybody else?
Just where we bring up stuff.
Public comment, yeah, just up there, Terry.
My name's Terry Zimmerman. I live out near Randolph. I wrote an email last night and got an answer from Mr. McKinley about the proposed money sent to Prairie Paws for the county. I'd like to know what they're going to do for the county. Okay, they do nothing now. They did nothing before when we were coughing up $60,000 a year. Nothing. No animal control, no acceptance of animals, zero. Mr. McKinley, I do have to say that that's a nice long email, but it says nothing. Zero. You said you didn't have a contract? Where did $60,000 go for the last 10 years?
I've been here the last 10 years, but this year this year we did not pay him this year.
That's right, you did. 1 year.
Well, and like I say, because before it was supposed to be animal shelter, animal control, the city ran it, and they just quit doing it. And we finally, and when we found that out, we quit it. So they turned it over to this Prairie Paws to run it. And that's why we've worked on a contract. The contract with them is just as an animal shelter where they'll have to accept animals that are brought in from the county.
Okay, they don't accept them now.
No, I know, we don't have a contract. That's
Right, understand.
And that's why we're putting in a contract.
But the layout by Mr. Parker says that they do accept animals and we're gonna pay them $5,000 in June. We're halfway through June.
No,
Hey, would the commission?
well, no, we're when the contract goes into effect.
We're gonna back pay them?
No,
No, it's prorated.
it's prorated, it's, and
But it
maybe,
doesn't say that in here.
well, it might be misstated in there, but the idea is whenever it's finalized, it'll be prorated, whatever portion of a month that goes in, but that will be in effect.
And they'll accept stray animals.
Yeah.
They'll respond to animals that are,
No, they don't do animal control.
Okay.
I say in there, the city of Manhattan took over animal control, and now we have to work on a separate contract with them to do animal control.
okay, because you know what the response is now, right?
Yeah, oh, I know, it's nothing.
Just shoot them.
Yeah, I've heard that too.
Absolutely.
I have heard that too. And
That's 100% the response.
I know that.
Would
Yeah,
it be helpful if I chimed in just for a little bit?
okay,
Yeah.
sure.
I have some, and I know we're gonna go over our public time, but I'm gonna come up
This
to
Mr. Parker, this Mr. Parker.
I'm Brian Parker.
There's a good job. I think your resume.
Oh, yeah, well, that's.
he said it, not us.
Yeah, so let me give a little background. Because I think that's going back 10 years.
Absolutely.
And 10 years without me getting into anything that, because I used to, at that time, I was the city's assistant city attorney. And I was working on these issues on their behalf. I had some of the animal shelter stuff overnight, right? So how the animal shelter was set up back then, as we've discussed, was the city ran it, okay? And then the city, now you're stretching me, but the city had some animal control services, but there was always a question of, okay, if things are out in Riley County, who's gonna go get the dog, right? Then we were under then I took a hiatus from Manhattan. Then we were under for last decade or so before the city outsourced management of the animal shelter, right, to these prairie fox folks, right? The city running the shelter, they contracted with external providers for some like shelter services, but the city was running it, so we had an agreement with the city, right, for them to both provide animal shelter services as well as animal control services. Right, it looks like in the past, right, and I'm not commenting as to this, but you would not be the first person that I've heard from that the city was not, shall we say, aggressive in going out and picking up strays, impoundments, etc. Right. So what we've done here is we have negotiated an agreement for animal shelter services, right, with prairie dogs, so that they have to accept our animals, right? The only animals that are given a rolling priority, just like all animals, if they're overwhelmed, it doesn't matter if, you know, where the animal's coming from, if they don't have any room to accept a stray, like you have to do it on a case basis. But all the animals that are brought up, right, by animal control, right, they have to accept it. Okay. Now we're going, and I am reaching out and working with my counterparts over at the city to structure an effective animal control services contract, which is a separate thing, okay? And the other thing to know about our prairie dogs contract is that we didn't have, and I'm sorry, Commissioner, I don't, we get a lawyer opportunity to speak.
Yeah, we don't want to go all morning. We got business to take care of.
Keep going, you're talking to one.
Yeah, okay, well, the other thing that's important to remember, we didn't have numbers to base the animal shelter services from. And so they weren't comfortable with us doing anything but a flat fee up front, right? That flat fee is prorated. It only starts from today, right? And it stops in February 2025. Okay, and then we renegotiate, and it's only prorated. They don't get the whole, right? Now I used the way I structured the fee language, I can show you off camera, but it's only starts today. Okay, and then we look at it after we've had 8 months of history to see if it's fair. Okay.
Good, what happened in the last 10 years? That money's just gone?
Yeah.
It's just gone, just
Talk to the city, see what they did.
$600,000.
That would, yeah, talk to the city and ask them why they.
$600,000 gone. Why do I have to talk to the city? You guys are in charge of my money. I mean,
I've been here for 5 of that 10 years, and we did start asking questions 2021.
21, yeah.
We need a contract. That was the
Then why
answer.
did you pay him in 22?
That's a good question.
I mean, consider me dumb. I don't care. But I just didn't fall off the truck yesterday.
Understood.
I mean, this has been going on forever. And for me, it just seems like it's a slush fund. Let's just pay them. We paid them before, let's pay them again.
Well, actually, when we started negotiations, they wanted $90,000.
Okay, well, they didn't take anything. I own 2 of those dogs that I picked up, and I still have them. I'm both of them. Still have them. I mean, I'm like, this is crazy. This is absolutely, and the reason I had them is because my own fault. My wife's an animal lover. I mean, all our cows have names. I know none of them. You give me a tag number, I can get you to it. But I'm telling you right now, people don't know about this. I mean, I asked 12 people over the weekend before I sent Mr. McKinley an email. I asked 12 people over the weekend. Not one of them knew about it.
So we're well over 3 minutes.
Oh, I've done it 3 minutes.
Oh, yes, sir, just like anybody else.
Oh, I didn't read that, nothing.
No,
Okay,
that's okay.
okay, I'm good.
All right, thank you.
Anybody else? Wow. Okay, I'll close off public comments for the morning then, and move on to commissioner comments. So, Commissioner McKinnon.
We'll spend a lot of time looking at going over the budget numbers this weekend, see what we can do, get things taken care of. And then also I had a call about Fort Riley noise. And then I noted, I responded to an email about Prairie Paws trying to explain the situation. And there was another email I think you guys got that at the end of the meeting. I'll go over this. That's a little odd. Something's right on that. That's all I got.
Okay.
Okay, well, Thursday I had a short meeting with Shallow Hager regarding the proposed changes in office hours that will be presented in today's meeting. I also talked to Anna Burson, I think it was that later that evening on the phone about it. Also had a brief meeting with County Attorney Wilkerson concerning space needs for the courts. Friday caught up on paperwork, went over today's agenda and documents, did some yard work, picked up supplies at Bluebill at Home Depot, which I couldn't use because of the rain, so. I'm waiting for a dry 24 hours and that doesn't seem to happen very, very much, which is good in many ways, but. Anyway, Saturday evening I was able to go on the dinner train in Abilene Smoky Hill train, which, that's the second time this month, which was great. I got some comp tickets for it. And so it was really a good, pleasant trip through the farm country. And crops are looking really good with all the rain. I tell you, the corn was way up and the alfalfa looked great. Everything looked great. Better than it's, and the wheat's ready to cut. That's
Yeah,
good.
we're starting to do that now south, so it's moving our way.
Moving away. Yeah,
Moving away.
this way. Sunday went to church, worked on projects at home and reviewed today's meeting documents. And as Commissioner McKinley said, I reviewed some of these numbers and all of these numbers on increases on the appropriation side, especially. That's it for me.
Okay, so as for me, Thursday afternoon, I had my June meeting of NACO's Veterans and Military Service Committee meeting via Microsoft Teams. Got some brief remarks from our chair, Trista Martinson. And then we heard from John Lira Sr., who's the advisor for veteran and military's families. And Priya, I can't pronounce this name, Amelini, well, anyway. Senior legislative assistant, she works for AmeriCorps, it's a really good group. They both discussed the new overview of the AmeriCorps. Just kind of how they're breaking stuff down and how they're working through things. Got our usual legislative update from our legislative assistants, Rachel Mackey. And then another annual review of the annual conference that will be taking place next month in Hillsborough County, Florida, Tampa. And then discuss some other veteran related resolutions that will be reviewed during that time. So we won't meet again until probably September, because all the new appointments will be made and the new calendar year will start in September. So we'll hear about either one of those two committees until then. I did ask to stay on both of them, so it should be good. Thursday afternoon, I met with Raleigh County Press Information Officer Vivian Leva to review and finalize the PowerPoint presentation for Thursday's Good Morning Manhattan. So got to get some notes and stuff put together with that, but it's just about complete and ready to go. Mentioned the hailstorm on Thursday. Ouch. They put little Band-Aids or something on all of them or something. I don't know, whatever, something. Just I hate that. Anyway. Friday morning took part in the Flag Day ceremony over at Manhattan City Hall. Had a chance to say a few words on behalf of the brave men and women that fought here in Riley County in World War II. Made a few personal observations on what Flag Day means to me. It's actually a pretty well attended event. A very warm morning too. In fact, we had a lady go down.
Really?
And gives me a chance to put in a good plug for our EMS crew. He responded because there is an EMS crew right there. I said, yeah, they responded immediately, had the pack out, had her up and responsive. And really did an amazing job. So I just wanted to take a moment to point that out. Let's see, Friday afternoon, I attended the Victories with Honor Ceremony up on Fort Riley at Victory Hall. It was to honor the work and efforts of the Brigadier General Nell and her family, and the Deputy Commanding General of Support, Brandon Smith. He's their chief of staff up there, of course. Command staff's going to be changing out, so this is the first chance to kind of start honoring them one by one before those changes are made at the end of July. It was held outside, so it was really warm by then. But we did have a breeze. I do want to wish both of those families I've actually gotten to know over the last 2 years. Best of luck on their next command post. The Smith family actually got the opportunity to be here for 4 years, which usually doesn't happen. And they're going to Fort Leavenworth. So Kansas must be their thing or something. Yeah. So, and then Friday afternoon too, I also met with Jim Butler from the VSO from the Kansas Veterans Office Affairs. And Director Turner also joined him and a couple other people as well and discussed some other veteran related things. Had a really good dialogue. Elizabeth Ward was with me on that. Try to maybe plan to do some things, try to figure out some collaborative efforts on some things moving forward. So there might be more to come on that. Saturday morning, I attended the monthly coffee talk with the Riley County Republicans. Gave everybody an update on what we're doing and working on here in Riley County. Heard from some officials, both from the city of Manhattan and USD 383, as well as a whole bunch of candidates that are running for the various offices during the 2024 election cycle. Though I didn't get a chance to attend this meeting because I was at the other meeting, there was a neighborhood meeting over at the Vineyard Church over in Northview. Had a pretty lengthy agenda, but most of it centered around the possible aquatic center in City Park and ultimately what effect that would have on the Northview area. Gonna try over the next couple of days and get just get an update on what the dialogue actually was there because like I said, I couldn't be at both meetings at the same time, so how that works out. So and with that, that's about all I got.
Ready for business, commissioners?
Yeah.
Need a motion to approve change order number 1 with Terracon for University Park Lagoon project, perform geotechnical study and engineering of the lagoon, in the amount of $2,080.50 for a total adjusted contract price of $13,930.50.
I would make a motion to approve the change order to increase the total project cost to $13,930.50.
Second.
Moved and seconded to approve the change order to increase the total project cost to $13,930.50. All in favor? Aye.
Aye.
Chair, please sign. You. Next, I need a motion to approve agreement with Animal Shelter Services with Prairie Paws Animal Shelter, Inc.
Move the board authorize the chairman to sign the agreement for Prairie Paws as presented.
I would second that.
Okay, it's been moved and signed to authorize the chairman to sign the agreement as presented for contract with Prairie Paws Animal Shelter Services. All in favor? Aye.
Aye.
Chair, please sign. Next, commissioners have Raleigh County employee action forms for Sean Lindberger, as needed volunteer firefighter stipend. Bent Bolt, as needed volunteer firefighter stipend. Separation of service, both of these are. And then next one is as well, Nathan Davis, as needed volunteer firefighter stipend. And Kyler McCullough, new hire traffic control tech, public works, and Katie Magnum. Promotion, legal secretary, county attorney's office. All three signed, please. Commissioners have any changes to the minutes?
Didn't see me.
You get a motion for minutes, commissioners?
I'd make a motion to approve the June 13th, 2024 minutes as presented.
Second. Been moved and seconded to approve the minutes from the June 13th meeting of the Riley County Commission as presented. All in favor?
Aye.
Tentative agendas, look, commissioners. Any items for next week's press conference?
Don't have them.
Okay, I'll be on there again on the parks licensing and then also on the move for the elections.
That is. Coming up.
It
Ready
is.
for that.
It is. I'll
Takes
be
you months to
reviewing
get-
ballots later today and I've already done some reviewing.
Do you have a projected time when you move upstairs?
Still, same anticipated hope date was July 1, so still going based on that. Yeah, that'll go quickly, that's for sure. Next, commissioners, you have Amanda Webb at 9 o'clock.
Did you want a new sleeve? Since this one's falling apart.
Yeah, if you've got one, sure.
Okay, I'll grab.
I don't use it very, it just kind of wears out in my purse, but I've been keeping it.
Okay,
in a secure place at home.
yeah, I'll get you a new sleeve,
Okay.
when I go back over it.
Okay, right. I don't know how it got so tattered.
Yeah.
Well, it's been what, almost 4 years, so I guess.
I'm so excited for you.
Yeah, can you come over and cover the rest of the meeting for me? Got an emergency. Okay, bye. I'm gonna have to go the rest of the meeting. I've got an emergency. I'm gonna depend you soon as Cindy gets over there.
Everything okay?
That's my mom's side of the room.
See you.
Huh.
Is he healed?
Yeah, well, yeah, he's had a really bad infection, so it doesn't sound good.
Oh, goodness. We're a little bit with the except for the family.
Thanks. It's too bad.
Go ahead.
Good morning, Commissioners. Amanda Webb, Planning Director. I am here with a letter of support for the Regional Council and the NPO's grant application for the Active Transportation Infrastructure Investment Program. You can see the letter template in your packet as well as some information about the grant itself. Jared Tremblay here is here from the NPO to give a little bit more information about the project and kind of what the grant is. Turn it over to Jared.
Good morning again. Yes, this is a USD DOT grant. So this will be our first federal grant that we've ever gone after. And so what we're requesting today is a letter of support. And if we were to be awarded this grant, we're not asking for any local match. The local match for this grant would come from the Kansas, Build Kansas Hub. We have a request in with them. And so the split would be the federal money with then the state money. So what we're looking for today is just some support on that. We have discussed the grant will go after two different projects. One would look at, it's just planning and design. There's no construction. So we'll be looking at possibilities of connecting the city of Manhattan's trail network along Casement, Marlatt, and US 24 up to Tuttle Creek State Park. It's a 2-mile stretch. A lot of people have to see that connection. That would just kind of analyze what are the options and what would that look like in terms of costs. That's really the part that Raleigh County has to play in this segment that would be Raleigh County. We're also working with Potawatomi County, the city, Erie County, and I misspoke. We also have Ogden. The city of Ogden has a piece as well. And we all know the struggles with Riley Avenue. We're getting some congressional discretionary funding to do some short-term fixes. This would look at doing the planning and design work for reconstructing Riley Avenue and getting that taken care of. So those are the two pieces. I apologize. The two pieces that affect Raleigh County.
I thought that Raleigh Boulevard was already in a grant, or is that part of?
We have several grants out, so
Okay.
we haven't heard back from one. We've been declined on several.
Technically two, isn't it?
I'm sorry.
Oh, there's two. Well, maybe not.
There's a private communities
Yeah.
grant. We did not get the State Streets for All grants. We
Right.
did get those discretionary funds to do immediate work. This would do the holistic. So we're just going after opportunities to try to find something. We think we have a potential funding source for construction through DSIP, but it's that planning, the
Yeah.
design phase where we
Okay.
cannot find funding. And this would help with that.
I'm getting
Thank
close to
you.
about maybe half. I mean, as we sit here to do that, the price just keeps going.
Oh,
up.
yeah.
So I mean, it's not like we're not really gaining. So and
So yeah, that's what that is, just to see if you support that.
But if there's a map that came with this,
Yeah.
you scroll up, it should be there. That question's on the other direction.
Yeah, there's one.
This one right here.
Okay.
Okay, yeah.
Okay, is that, so that's the ones in yellow are the proposed trails?
Yes.
Is that kind of what that is?
Yes,
That
the
what you're
base
saying?
map the base map, those purplish blue lines and then the green lines. This is from a plan we did a while ago called the Regional Connections Plan. And that was really just very high level. People were interested in trails. They wanted to see connections. We looked at, this is an ideal utopia sort of connection here.
Okay,
There's a lot of private land there. We're not suggesting that at all. There is no private land in any of these requests this year. This is all right of way planning and design. So yes, the ones in yellow. So you can see this one here from US 24 and Marlatt up to the Western Heritage Trail and then on to the state park. This one is actually through city property in Potawatomi County, and then Ogden over here, and then we also have a Junction City one we're working on. So these are it's an active transportation grant, so there's supposed to be a touch of an urban connection to it. So the yellow are segments we're looking at, having designed and planned with them.
so this was, I thought this whole thing was on the plan. That's one. It's pretty.
Oh, no,
aggressive, but,
no.
You know, like they
No.
just look, what is it? It says the green lines are a greenway. What's that mean?
A greenway, so a greenway would be, think of a trail or multi-use path that is not right beside a road. That's kind of the idea here. That is a far off, I probably won't live to see
Okay.
most of that. This is an idealistic to have these ideas of these
Wish
connections
list.
thought out so that when opportunities come up, we can go after segments. The most important segments are in the yellow right now.
And the purple says right of way path.
Again,
That'd be then the.
think of the new Marlatt Dennison trail that opened 2 or 3 years ago where the road was redone and the trail was right beside it. That's more of what we're looking at with these things.
The right of ways along the road.
In the public right.
Oh, okay. All right.
Yes. Yeah. Thank you.
Any questions? I think that's.
So as Jared mentioned, the letter of support is they're asking for ones from all the different entities within the region, so.
Like I said, the local match was one of my first question, but you answered that one. So.
Yeah.
I'm glad it at least does some other things just besides trails, and it deals with the other parts of the transportation infrastructure because it's failing just all the way around the board. It's hard to put trails then over that long term. That's why I just, the overall part of this, I just struggle with. I just don't think every entity is going to be able to put something forward into it to make it work. I mean, connected was.
I absolutely agree.
Yeah. So,
That's not, again, that's why we're starting at the urban areas and kind of going out. If there were demand, it could be done piecemeal that way.
At least it connects parts to another trail. So that's- Like go up there, you know, they all connect. We have supporting to go forward. Do we need to, yeah.
yes, everyone.
Yeah.
Move to authorize the chairman to sign the letter of support for the Flint Hill MPO grant application, the 2024 Active Transportation Infrastructure Investment Program.
I'd second that.
So, it's been moved and seconded to authorize the chairman to sign the letter of support for the Flint Hills NPO grant application for the 2024 Active Transportation Infrastructure Investment Program. All in favor?
Aye.
Thank you.
Oh.
Like, keep looking. I'm running.
I was real glad, John, when he went past my chair.
Appreciate this. Okay. Yeah.
I'm not waving at you anymore when you're driving down the road. I wave at you all the time. We never look
That what those-
sideways at all.
That's what those are, waves.
Yeah, those are all, yeah, completely.
I just assumed something else.
No.
Yeah, I always wave at the ambulances, but they're straight ahead.
Right, yep.
I saw your crew at City Hall in action. Friday
yeah?
morning.
Okay,
Yeah, during a Flag Day ceremony, we had a lady go down because of the heat.
right.
Was that the cities, or they're all the same? They were right there.
They're right there on site, yeah.
I was lucky. It's okay.
Yeah, she was.
Was it the heat that,
Yeah, it was awfully humid and sun was just kind of beating down on everybody and, yeah. Strikes everybody differently.
Yes. That's a fallen damage.
Don, I don't know if Rich told you Great Ice Stone's coming over for a press conference.
No, he didn't. So I'm taking it Rich is gonna do what he was doing today on next Monday.
Yes. I mean, he's got a news release here, but I don't think he's gonna have anyone cover it.
Okay. You might check and see if Vivian can by chance. I don't know if she knows or not, but. Sorry.
Videos? Yeah, can you see? I don't know if they can really cover his. Okay. Okay. Okay, sounds good. Thank you. Bye.
Go ahead, David.
All right, morning, commissioners. David Adams, CMS Ambulance Director with my monthly update. Starting off, operations in the month of May, we had 513 calls. That's a lot of calls. And then you'll see again, so it's starting, headquarters station had 136, station 2 at 11 points, we had 201. So there's 90 of those calls are tied back to those two individuals we're trying to help.
Oh.
So, there's no that are directly tied to those two individuals. So making progress. Hope to see the system start to catch up to them a little bit. But our crews again are just phenomenal with them. I mean, they're very, very patient and working with them. But yeah, that's what those are tied to. So station 3, located public works, we had 71. Airport, we had 72, and then Leonardville, we had 31. So, and it is a reminder, station Medic 41, Medic 51 are the first two to do our out of town transfers every day. And then if we have a third, then it goes to Medic 31. So, but yeah, we were busy. Last month we celebrated EMS week. So celebrated that with our staff a little bit and such. They received some treats from different organizations and things that come out and recognize them for the work that they do, which is always very nice and appreciated. Working on new building construction related topics. So breaking that down, Leonardville, their painting is underway, that are fixing the ceilings. What they've got done so far, it's dried, looks really, really good. I'm really happy with it, but there's still a couple more minor issues that we're dealing with. So I think I have a meeting with them at 1:30 today to kind of discuss some of these. So, and to look over the painting. So, headquarters, the first pour of concrete, as I said, was last week. So they're still working on it. Looks like today they're starting to work on the underground water retention system. That's what it looks like they're doing. So I haven't been over there to inspect it today, but that's what it appears. So I'm sure I'll stop by at some point, but I'll change clothes first. So, but meetings bi-weekly with the builders and architects, and really not a whole lot to report at this time. I mean, they're working on footings. So once they start going upright with some things, then I'm sure I'll have more to report. But it's just a lot of good work and a lot of concrete. So we continue to participate in the mental health and substance abuse task forces and work groups. Handling CPR, stop bleed training for the county staff. I will say this, on Saturday, we had a crew down at the farmers market for a demo of hands-only CPR. That was very, very popular. And one of the things people asked them was, well, what about a child? So they called back, had a supervisor bring an infant or a child mannequin so they could do that. And so they were there the entire time from like 7:30 to 12:30, I think is what it was. But they said it was very well ahead. So that may be something we do again at some point. So, but the crew had a good time. They said they were hot. They were ready to get out of the heat, but they had a good time. Most of all of our leadership team has been to the NBAF, the tour. We have two who were not unable to make it. We'll get them rescheduled. But I know the department heads are looking at going at some point. And that's my second time going through it. And there's still a lot that I've learned. It's impressive. It really is. So, and they've changed some of the things since last time I was there and I went through it. So, but we were there for a full 2 hours, I think. Our leadership team. Yeah. So, but we went up to they call it the SOC, but it's the EOC, Emergency Operations Center. So we went up there and showed them that. I've been up there for the groundbreaking and some of those other events. So, but it was good. So the department heads will enjoy it. So, continue to migrate checklists over to the platform. We keep adding to them as they go along. Continue to evaluate the needs and prairie reduction. We started with severe weather season. Now we've also obviously kicked it up into some of the heat related season. So with weather. So we had a nice little spring, I think, but summer's hit us pretty right square between the eyes, I think, so. Woke up this morning to 77 degrees
I
outside.
don't know.
Holy cow, so. Active Bodies training, as reminders next month. So that is going to, after this week, that'll be all that Alex will focus on, I think, for the next several weeks. This is that Active Bodies training, Alex, Josh, and a couple other of our staff.
Where's that going this year?
I think the high school, I don't recall.
I think they moved it around.
Yeah, we moved it around, right. I'm not involved in any of that.
Oh, okay.
So the chiefs are not allowed to be part of that. That's, you know, done by the assistants and by the training officers and such. So, yeah, they won't let me go to meetings. So, but they keep some of that pretty hush hush
Yeah.
for staff because it makes more sense.
Right, yeah.
You know, so they have no idea where it's at, you know.
Oh, okay.
So
Makes sense.
yeah, so they keep that, that's a pretty close knit group
Yeah.
between Manhattan Fire, RCPD and EMS. And so, yeah, I'm sure if I asked, they'd probably tell me, but I think they'd probably not ask.
I hadn't thought about that, but they don't want anybody to know.
They want nobody to know. Absolutely. That's the only way it can be realistic.
Yeah.
So, yep. Almost done with driver training for our staff. And then still meeting with our medical director as we do to go over calls that either we flag that we'd like him to discuss or that you know, crews say, hey, I'd like Dr. You know, our medical director to look at this and see kind of what was going on or do a follow-up, find out what the diagnosis was in the hospital and what was that follow-up for us. We only had 2 minute standbys, so that was pretty good. So and then, you know, 100% review of all calls. Pre-hospital trauma life support is, that's a hybrid class this year. And so this week is the hands-on portion of that. So the participants have finished their online and so they'll get that done. And then the hybrid EPC was just completed as well, so. Protocol book development's ongoing. I'm hoping to bring something to you in my next update, kind of show you what we're doing, what Alex is doing. It's changed, I think he's changing the format a lot and how we do it. It's phenomenal. But I'll show you kind of what we have now and how simplistic it is and what we're going to, so. And then car seat check lanes as we do once a month for. And then breakdown of calls, as you see. So nothing really unusual other than just that total number of calls. So again, gets kind of busy. It's the bar's closed and then it drops off. But
Coincidence.
yeah, it's amazing how that happens. And then the top 5 responses, you know, so none reported. That 95, as I said, 90 were tied to those 2 individuals, and that's most of what that is. So it's just because we're doing kind of life assists, if you will.
Yeah.
So they really don't have a complaint, but they need our assistance. So that's why that's jumped up there. You've never seen that up there before.
Right.
So that's what that's tied to. So I think that's it, unless you have some questions for me. All right, thank you very much.
Anticipated much. We're not anticipated.
Oh, okay.
Probably not even on the same message.
What's that?
It's a lot right now.
What am I doing? You got this. Protectors Without Limits. They're looking for a location.
We don't do any.
Yeah.
We need a permit organization.
Where would we put it? Even if we did.
Counties, we don't usually in buildings, we don't let them. And if they're outside, I mean, there's places they can. But they're big enough for that even. Or what they're trying to get done.
We need to contact. Conference center. Right on the
Somebody know.
No. That's extreme on TV. Yeah. I'm only doing that by time because I don't have to sit there in his absence.
You've only had to do it like twice though.
That's enough. That's enough. Once is enough.
Yeah, you no longer get that privilege.
I do not. That's okay.
And to be replaced since you're moving.
No, I, sorry.
Actually, that's kind of awful.
I don't know how many people I've trained. Yeah.
Don't hang out.
Keep it raining.
Right. It's like this. Nothing's happening on the hill. We are looking on the side of the day.
Yeah, it's 9:30. Sorry, sorry. Start off with you first, Evan, since you were first on the list.
Morning Commission, Evan McMillan, Public Works. I've got 3 public notices today. The first one is for Parallel Road culvert replacement. This project is expected to start July 1st, last around 80 days, finish by October 31st. During that time, Parallel will be closed through traffic between Mayday and Yankee Road. Next, Public Works will begin chip seal projects on Monday, should be finished up Thursday. That is for Winkler Road from Green Randolph north to Pansy Creek Road and Crooked Creek from Green Randolph south to Highway 24. And then the last one is transportation will be closed at noon on the 29th to install new scales.
Is it open or closed on Wednesday for Juneteenth?
What's that? Transportation.
Yeah.
They're open.
They're open.
Thank you.
Okay, see, I was wondering, okay, I wasn't for sure who.
Filling in for Rich Barter
Okay.
today. So starting July 1st, the Riley County Clerk's Office will no longer be selling wildlife and park licenses, including hunting, fishing, and boat licenses. And this has to do partly with the change of election staff moving to a new location, hopefully July 1st, we'll know what the date we're aiming for. And we actually process very few of these licenses, and they're readily available online and in multiple other locations. So rather than train new staff or have a staffing gap, we decided to discontinue that service. It was a convenience for customers, but again, I can get those online and in several other locations. And however, even with the change, customers can come in to get their motor vehicle registration renewed and still buy that Parks Pass sticker while they're at that office. But they just won't come over to the clerk's office for boat registration or hunting or fishing licenses. So, and I'll send out information again, a news release I'll send today, and it includes the list of all the other physical locations that you can get those licenses. And we'll have a little handout in case somebody stops by our office expecting that service. We can take you to all the places that you can take care of that. So again, that's starting July 1st.
Okay.
Any questions? Getting excited on things.
Okay, great. Our surprise press conference guest this morning.
Well, good morning, Commissioners. It's going to be a lovely day today and on Saturday, June 22nd. That's this Saturday for the Raleigh County Extension Master Gardeners Organized Garden Tour. It will be a little change. We're going to start at 8:30. We noticed people weren't quite getting up that early on Saturday, so we moved it a little bit. And they seem to linger a little bit longer. So we used to be done at 2, but we're going to go to 1. So we're trying 8:30 to 1 this Saturday garden tour. We have 5 private landscapes, which is always with like aspect to see what other people are doing in the community and talking with those property owners. A couple of different things this year we're trying. The K-State Gardens has always been a beneficiary of our tour. And we're going to try and highlight a couple of locations in the gardens this year. So the Rose Garden, Cottage Garden, and Butterfly Garden. So if you're interested particularly in any of those type of gardens, there'll be a master gardener there to help you with those thoughts and ideas. Of course, the gardens are open for you to tour as well. And they have a new reflective pool. She's asking us those pictures of that. I haven't since they took the fence down, and it's officially kind of done. So we don't see that. Pretty neat at night when they put the purple lights. The other thing that is part of the garden tour is the Manhattan Community Gardens celebrating 50 years of existence. And so they do have 2 locations. And so we'll have a master gardener at each location if you want to tour through those. So this Saturday from 8:30 to 1, our 35th garden tour. We hope people can come out to that. Next Saturday, following on the 29th, we'll have a program at Blueville on energy efficient landscaping. Back in the day when air conditioning wasn't as prominent, we used a lot of shade trees and other landscaping features to make ourselves cool when it still can be energy efficient. So we'll be talking about that 10 a.m. at Blueville, and then the master gardeners will be in the parade at Randolph, starting at 4 o'clock on the 29th.
And if you like to grow beans, we have a packet of seed for you, which will be watching us. Great run. Thank you. See you Saturday at one of the gardens. Go to our website, riley.ksu.edu for the locations, or start at the K-State Gardens, 1500 Denson. Thanks.
Thank you.
We have them do the rain dance.
We
We don't.
We haven't needed.
don't, I was gonna say, we kind of don't need that this year. We did last.
Last grade, really.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Don, did you make your own Venus morning or Joyce?
Oh, man,
Do you know what flavor you got?
peach ring.
Do you say you get regularly?
Yeah, usually I'm Mondays and Thursdays. I can make it at home too, though.
I make mine at home, but I don't do the like top flavor, bottom flavor like they do. You know what I mean?
Some of them require that, some of them
Yeah.
don't, though,
But
yeah.
I mean, that's too fancy for me.
Usually you have to kind of do the lift off and get it kind of set, and then you can kind of do whatever you want after that. Isn't that right, Lori?
Yeah, that's not, Lori showed me how to do it,
okay.
but I don't, I'm like, maybe I should get crazy and try that.
Yeah.
What is it this morning, John?
Peach ring
Your favorite?
is my favorite. Every now and again, we'll actually put a peach ring on there. Yeah.
Is that what it tastes like? Is those?
Yeah, that's exactly what it tastes like, yeah. Except without all the sugar.
Yeah, exactly.
Exactly.
No sugar, yeah. I really like those as well. But Lori was right when she first warned me to not drink it too late today. That's some energy.
That burning tea, well, yeah.
It keeps me up.
Just was nothing, it's like coffee.
Yeah.
I don't drink coffee in the mornings.
I do mostly too, and I don't drink it during this time of the year when it's hot, I just mostly do it.
Nice coffee's good. My daughter got me into that.
On that day, Shiloh. Stop talking about iced coffee, well,
Oh, really?
that's garbage.
Good morning, Commissioners. I'm Shiloh Hager, Riley County Treasurer, and I am speaking to you today on behalf of the departments within the Riley County office building to kind of talk about a change in our hours of operations. We've talked over the last couple of years about flexibility for our staff. We've also talked about ways that we can offer additional office hours to the public. And, you know, remember last year we were talking about doing 4 10-hour days, and we kind of figured that that does not work right now for Riley County. And so the department heads of the building got together, and we've been talking about potential other options that we could look at and explore to, one, give more services to our constituents, but also offer some flexibility, especially to the offices who have that are customer facing, the treasurer's office, the clerk's office. There's many offices within Riley County that are currently using varying work schedules that are working very well, and they work well for their departments. You've got Public Works working 4-10s that works for their staff and their employees. You've got the health department who are working different hours that works for their department. And so we really tried hard to figure out a way that we could find a schedule that would offer those same flexibilities that the other offices are currently utilizing. And so what we came up with would be a schedule where all of the departments within the Riley County office building would operate under the same hours of operations. And that would be Monday through Thursday from 7:30 to 5, and then Friday from 7:30 until noon. That would give a half hour before 8 o'clock that we currently were not providing to the public. It would also, and then it would also provide some flexibility to the offices that on Friday afternoons it would give us an opportunity if we needed to catch up on, other work without being interrupted. It would give us the opportunity to make appointments on Friday afternoons if that needed to be. This change, like I said, would give everybody the same schedule. So if you need to come to the clerk's office, the treasurer's office, the register of deeds, the appraiser, we all have the same hours of operation. So you're not gonna get, the appraiser's office, they're working their 4 10-hour days and you can't go to their office, but you need to come to our office. There are other similar organizations that are currently on this schedule. The city of Manhattan and the city of Riley are currently working a similar type schedule to where they're closed on Friday afternoons. And we calculated it out, and this change would provide those extra hours in the morning and only lose a small amount of time in the overall week to the public. So with that, I'd be happy to answer any questions you might have, and we've got the other department heads of the building here to answer questions as well.
Well, as far as the city of Riley, there's been many more complaints than praises,
Okay.
and nobody comes in the early time.
Yeah.
And also I question whether somebody can get here at 7:30 and get everything done and be to work by 8. I'm not sure that's really giving anybody.
If it was a renewal, probably, or dropping off a tax payment,
If there's something really quick, but
even a driver's license appointment, we could get that done usually in
But if there's
about 15
if
minutes.
there's only one person there, but if there's a couple people.
Well, we would have full staff at 7:30 in the morning.
So, but you're saying they would still be working Friday afternoons?
No, not necessarily. Some may. So I know in my office, we would
Because right
have,
now, I mean, they're working 38 and a half hours instead of 40, is that?
no, they would actually they would be taking half-hour lunches during the week. So they would still be working their 40 hours.
Oh, okay, that wasn't clear in there.
Yes.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, they would still, at least in my office, each office would come up with their own, how that would work for their staff, but they would still be working 40 hours.
Oh, okay.
And like in my particular case, in my office, I know I have a couple that have children that they can't be here at 7:30. So they would work the hours that they need. our supervisor staff would rotate and would stay later on Fridays so that they could still get in their 40 hours. But just like a lot of the offices that work the 4 10-hour days, they get 1 day off a week. This would allow some of our staff to just have that half hour or that half day on Fridays. Or if you're salaried and you have work to do, then you could stay and work on Friday without any interruptions, and sometimes you get a lot done in that little time period.
And it does give more flexibility than the 410s, and because you could work Friday afternoon, we'll have supervisors still working a minimum, anybody's salary would work a minimum of 40. And so you'll have coverage and people could work Friday afternoon if they have appointment on Monday morning, for example, they have to work with their supervisor.
Yeah, how many departments, and we've got most of the department heads here, how many of the departments would have people coming in early or wanting to come in, earlier, or not if you weren't available on Friday afternoon, would that cause hardship in any of the departments?
I think and I'll speak for, it's gonna be a change.
Yeah.
Anything, people didn't want to have to make appointments to come to the treasurer's office. They've started, they liked pulling their tickets. They've adapted to that. They've adapted to, it definitely will be a change. You have people have to schedule, but we wouldn't still be here on a Friday because a lot of times people get paid on Friday. It's just, you would just have to be here by noon on Friday.
Oh, I'm sorry, can I talk? I will add to, I will add that 30 minutes might not, allot the full time that from somebody who used to be an hourly employee that now is exempt, 30 minutes is 30 minutes less than you have to take from somebody's paid time off, no matter what entity is. So if you're a teacher or if you're have an hourly, you might be able to take 1 hour instead of, or 30 minutes instead of a full hour. And even though you think, 30 minutes, those pieces add up very quickly when you are an hourly employee, when you have to do that for multiple different things. And so I do think that it would be a benefit to the public to be able to have that as an option.
Well, I have a question for Amy, because when you talked about the 410s, you said a lot of stuff happens on Fridays. There's a lot of people close. I assume they're not coming in until Friday afternoon. If they're trying to close in the morning, they're not going to be able to come in the afternoons, which, well, you said there's a lot that happens there.
Yes, and we get the bulk of our work in by noon because it comes by mail, UPS, and FedEx. And Shiloh did indicate at one point that we could piggyback on her scheduling. I'm trying to think of
The appointments.
The appointment, yes. To where, because we will still have to have people in the office on Friday afternoons, so it might just be one of those where they make an appointment to come in to do their research or whatnot.
I just know you had said Fridays when not the 410s.
That's the day that everybody comes to research their grandparents and
Seems to be the day it's the day I usually hear that everybody wants to come in and do something just in general, not just your office. That's what I hear from the public, so.
But I don't think the data is there that's, or Shiloh's looked at her customers and it's not, unless it's the
I can't
last day
base
of the month.
everything off of just data either.
Well, I mean, when we count the people that come in,
Gotcha.
yeah, and I don't mean like a survey, I mean like literally counting the people who come into the office on those days.
Now, if it's a Friday on the last day of the month, that's probably, but we have not seen with the appointments now, we just haven't seen the people lining up on a Friday like we used to.
Go ahead, Lori.
Another thing to think about too is when we shorten our lunch hours, especially you're gonna see this in the treasurer's office. they're gonna have more staff in there during other people's lunch hours when they do visits, so people are gonna get in there on lunch hours and get through quicker, get through the line.
You guys normally take an hour.
We do, and so, and we usually have two off, 2 to 3 off during the lunch hour through that 11 to 2 o'clock period. Which then that gets us backed up, at least then people will only have a half hour that, and we can spread our lunches out a little bit more in our coverage.
I would imagine you get a lot of people at noon. Yeah, I was used to do it.
Yeah. Apparently they don't think we eat lunch. So.
Yeah.
Well, I think one of the things I talked to you about, this is beginning July 1st, which is only a couple of weeks. So I would like to, let the public know if we approve this, give it to like August 1st or something, depending on the kind of advertising that we would do on this. I like the flexibility of this. It's a lot better than the 410s.
And we would have, Vivian has been working on kind of a campaign, planning of the campaign, because you have to tell the public, so.
Yeah.
Yeah, and if a month and a half is better, maybe, then,
Yeah,
yeah, it's better to tell them what to expect.
right.
Well said, I can get the information out pretty quickly if you decide to do it. I think it's gonna be a change for the public either way, so having them have more notice about it just gives them enough time to forget it's happening, so give them a couple weeks and this is what we're doing.
No, it just gives them more time to argue and fight about it,
Yeah.
pretty much.
So you could get it out fast and you have people be aware.
I don't know if that would make,
communication.
yeah, I don't know that like a lot of advance notice is gonna make a whole lot of difference for the customer who's coming.
Well, Vivian, were you at the city when they changed?
No, I was already here.
Okay, I wonder when did that happen? Do you know?
I don't know, Alfonso has been on that schedule. My husband works at the city. He doesn't have a customer service role though, so he's been on that schedule for a while, since January, I think.
Yeah, and it was pretty, there wasn't a lot of notice or
Yeah.
publications, I guess I should say, that they knew they were doing it and just.
Their website is not good then, because I looked up and half the offices still list their hours, 8 to 5 days a week.
Yeah.
Because you said they switched now. I don't see anything on there. Found one place that it said that. Oh, the other places still said they are.
And it may still be, because I know it's different for like each individual can have a different schedule, worked out with their supervisor, and some work from home and some have a hybrid.
But their offices are not open. They're dedicated work time from noon to 5 on Friday. So their offices are not open to the public. People may work, but they're not open to the public.
That's not what it says on their website.
I know, I believe that, but I got that from their administration.
Okay, well, I
They
appreciate
do allow
that, 'cause
people to work.
I thought they,
Yeah, and they use it for dedicated time to catch up on things, and they're apparently it's being used. Their customer service people are not working the front line, but and I've talked to a lot of supervisors that said and me as well, would use that time because you don't have phone calls, you don't have appointments, and you can catch up on your projects. I usually do that after 5.
And I do kind of agree that, going out to August 1st, it really, if we ran several weeks that we're doing, it really does give the public more chance to, I think, to rally against this without even giving it a chance. So we had 2 weeks to get this out, and, at least I know we'll go ahead and mark off the Friday afternoon appointments, and, that I just think, it would give us the best opportunity to at least try it and without getting, I don't know.
I'm kind of thinking more along the lines of maybe just a trial basis, just to see how it actually goes. I don't know,
A 6-month trial
No,
or something,
no.
how long?
maybe
Because
60
it's
days.
gonna take people time to get used to it.
Well, I mean,
In 6 days, 2 months.
what you're asking here is we just do it then, but it's the same process.
And then, yeah, if it doesn't work for Riley County, we should consider changing it back. I did talk to Amy this morning and she said she's going to track how many people utilize it from 7:30.
That's what I want to know.
And she
Yes.
proposed like January 1st report date. Now, that's all up to you, but I did think that was an interesting idea to say, okay, well, how many people are utilizing the early morning? And then we can assess whether that's something, compared to any complaints or things that we get, people coming in at noon on Friday that can't be served for example.
We're gonna hear that part of it.
I think we're gonna hear things and I just would like to know, is it majority, less than, small groups, large groups, yeah.
Yeah, to track it, I think is important. So maybe
Yeah,
a
I do
trial
too.
basis, I don't know.
I think 2 months is too short, but you might think January 1st is too long.
I do, if you don't mind if I interject. I think that each of our offices have different seasons where we're in the height of things and you're gonna see different traffic. And to truly get a good snapshot of how the public is gonna perceive this 2 months, you want it to be a little longer. I'm thinking for myself with elections, 4 months is really gonna be a bigger snapshot for my division in and of itself, where, other departments have it as well. And then it will give the public a little bit of a chance to adapt to it. That's just my opinion.
So being upstairs or you here, when you move, you're gonna keep that schedule or is this only for the building over there?
Well, I'm still under the clerk's office,
Okay.
even though I have, it's a
Okay.
division within the clerk's office, so I would still have the same office hours as the clerk's office.
And on that note, you might want to go through election. That would just put us through October, but if you went through the end of November at least,
Yeah.
that'd give us 5 months.
And we could track how often, that's where all of that is in our office. We could track how often we have somebody call and make arrangements to either come in afternoon or make an appointment or.
Yeah, I think you'd want that too, to ask how many people are asking for Fridays.
And honestly, I mean, in general, the title companies won't have my cell phone number. It would be nothing to get a text from them either. So, I mean, there's all kinds of ways we can accommodate and then see, I guess, how often it happens versus early morning.
So if that'll put us into 2 seasons, summer, I think people have a little bit different rhythm than fall and school. It just seems that way, people are wanting to get outdoors.
I think it's worth a try. So, a trial basis.
I'm kind of tracking with not to be honest with you, but I'd give it a trial basis just to see, but I can't do 6 months. We got to figure that out well in advance of that. Maybe 4.
July, August, September, October.
4.
I mean, there's no reason we can't track the data for that amount of time and even bring it back monthly.
Yeah.
What you need, yeah.
Each one could do that during your monthly updates. Just give us a track on the numbers then. And we can track them over the next 4 months.
And we should look at everything. We should look at if it affects tenure, like turnover rates. We should look at if it affects our employee engagement, and obviously they can track the clients. I mean, just give you as much information as we can.
We can track the complaints too.
Yeah.
That's gonna
I
happen.
mean, realistically, that's gonna happen.
Yeah, it is. I would make a motion to try this change of hours for the office building for the next 4 months.
I guess it'd be starting July 1st through October 1st. Is that what we're?
4 months, yeah.
Okay. November. Yeah,
November first.
Yeah, so if you're starting on July first.
Yeah, thank you.
So that's the motion.
Mhm.
I'll go ahead and second it then. So it's been moved and seconded to start on a trial basis, schedule as listed beginning July first till November first. All in favor?
Aye.
Aye. All opposed?
Aye.
Okay, we will, I would say if you want other information than what you mentioned, if you think of other data or information you want to let us know, and we'll work on systems for collecting it. Okay. Thank you, commissioners.
Yeah, we really do. We really do appreciate it. You know, like I said, we've tried to find many ways to offer some of this flexibility, and without hiring additional staff, it's just not possible. So I really hope this does work out for everybody involved, and look forward to working with you. Okay.
Did you have an executive session with my?
No, you were.
No,
I have a disappointed you must be.
I'm very.
I think you'll get it. I think you'll recover.
Oh my gosh.
Good news is we'll have 1:30. How's that?
No.
You can have one today instead.
I want you to anticipate.
You just said one. You just admitted
Just one.
Just one.
One.
Just one.
Just one.
Just one. Just one.
I think I would do it. No, I have a board meeting at 12:30, so his executive session can't go past 12.
It looks like the schedule was, the agenda was kind of light.
Yeah. Oh, we have
10:20 or 10:50 or something.
we have the Good Morning Manhattan and the City County.
Oh, yeah, we got City County.
Yeah.
10:50 is like budgets.
Yeah.
Of course, that gets that. But yeah.
We can have as many of those as we want till about what, mid-July? Did you? Well, no. Yeah, well, that was just the procedure. We had the budget done before. We just had to go through the publication and all that. They come back and do the, and then come back and do the
stuff. I like to still adjust stuff. But even still.
You can.
I mean, we've still got 6 weeks. Okay.
That's the only thing I do like about that revenue neutral thing is you do have those extended period to kind of work through some stuff if you so choose. So if that's about it.
On that animal shelter thing, do you remember when they first started talking about that at the city county meeting about outsourcing? They wouldn't answer me when I said, what are you gonna do if you want to?
Yeah.
And they didn't think about it.
Well, like they didn't do more, and we finally tried to press them on it.
They wouldn't
They
answer.
finally did anything. That's when we said, okay, forget it. We're done.
Yeah, that was really, I would think, get some of those people from the, why would Ottawa,
I couldn't find anyone else to get that.
No, it's a
Yeah.
tough job.
That's really what it was. There's not many places that do this anymore.
Really wants to mess with it. So.
Yeah, I'm sure both of those big things work out. So, let's see. Well,
Sorry.
Same stuff we said here. Say what you all said. Oh,
I will next time.
I was working on it. We weren't doing anything and they were trying to. Contractor. Yeah. Oh, it's.
we'll see.
Yeah.
Well, we haven't.
Yeah. Which.
They don't provide it.
I'm gonna tell you, they had. Or if they, especially start asking about this.
Yeah, they didn't want to give up the $60,000. Yes. I wonder how many years that's been back. This tracks it like.
Well, so that's pretty long.
Yes. It's probably longer than 18.
But they used to do it all that. It used to do all that.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's stronger than it doesn't it?
Well, it's a tough thing, do that, but a lot of tough things.
Yeah.
Sitting down,
Easy thing.
not really that is.
Oh, yeah.
Thank you, are necessary. That's the thing I like.
Always.
They don't want to share their things.
Yeah, you're also.
We're getting here something.
Thank you for asking.
They come on in
So,
and
yeah,
just-
just yeah, there will be one.
buy minutes. Yeah.
Forget that.
I mean, it's
They're
just,
trying to.
we can't hardly go, you can speed it, and slow down. I know we're all the phones.
Oh,
Oh,
she will.
it's very, it's terrible.
This
Right
is
past
the
us.
There's no question.
Executive session.
There's no question about it.
And Sunset, we tried to put on the other side of the zoo, where you go, is it Sunset? No, yes, Sunset goes, connects to, Fort Raleigh Boulevard. It goes through the hill, you go over.
Points around.
Yeah. And that one is, oh, you gotta go over that one. It's gotta be a trench, right?
Oh, really?
That's fine. On the right, you gotta get in the middle of the trench is what.
Well, But I don't, it's supposedly, it's, I guess it's on the list. You know, we did all, see what we had, you know, a couple blocks, but now we do one next to the library. Have you been on Juliet next to the library?
Yeah,
I mean,
really rough.
it's terrible.
Yeah.
Little church right there, so hit it here. We could put down there.
Yeah, I don't use that street very often. It's been torn up so much and then I don't need to go to those kinds of things. I should have been there. They get really icy.
And what it amounts to is the golden street, what it usually be, and then just like. So it increases the cost tremendously. And he thinks that Brick Street, I mean, they look kind of.
I don't know why. Maybe the slow people they help. I don't know. That's it.
And they redid them, they made the intersections concrete.
Mhm.
Helps.
It's just really a challenge. I mean, you can't get across Kimball, there's really more left. It's just. You can't.
It was like pretty good the other day and they went around and around trying to get there.
You try to go to Rock and Case, you have to go all the way around the backside.
Oh, is it?
Yeah,
They gotta be getting close to getting that done, I would
I
think.
hope so.
Probably not with the weather, I guess, maybe, but
Well, they said they're just trying to get it open for
football, so.
Yeah, that's impact on the busy, you know.
I think the
business.
first game is August 30th, so I mean, it's only 6 weeks away. That's not a long time when you're doing major road construction at an intersection. Oh, it's gonna be a nightmare.
Go ahead, Clancy.
Thank you. Good morning, Commissioners. Clancy Holman, Raleigh County Councilor, for you the beautiful project list. And as usual, as it indicates at the opening paragraph. Bold type entries are the most recent in this snapshot of ongoing. The iceberg in terms of projects that are ongoing. Just so you have a feel for what's happening in the office during the during the reporting period. Don't think there's one thing here I was particularly going to update you on. I'd be glad to answer any questions you got, whether it's highlighted or not. So it's not even on here. Things are as busy as you would expect. Don't seem to have a slow season, but an organization of this size, there's many things that are going on. That's not a surprise. I think I don't know that he's new anymore. Deputy County Councilor Brett Parker is discovering that. So things are going well with the transition.
Three men to deep
that
end.
position.
I'm three men to deep end, right?
Yeah, absolutely.
Didn't easy men to.
There's no reason to do otherwise. Would be dishonest. He knew that coming in. So no, he's really doing well. He's building a good working relationship with the department heads. He's open to any kind of suggestions. Has a very good attitude about the work. Very good work. So, but I've been impressed. I'm very glad he's here, and it's very good to have a partner who understands what our efforts are all about. So,
University Park is calling the land swap, but it isn't exactly, but
it's not really a land.
I know, but whatever we want to call it, where is that?
That's underway because we had a meeting, Public Works last week. Right, and I did, it was on Friday to kind of get up to speed on where we need to go next on that. And it will involve some work by planning and development. That is being, we're arranging for that to begin taking place.
Be rezoned.
Not rezoned, there will need to be a replat probably. I don't think it involves a change in zoning. But I'm already starting to distance myself from it. Now in this court. No, we had a very good discussion in Public Works. And we'll be moving forward with that. So it will not be much longer a wait. Brian's already made contact with a person on the board out at the improvement district, had a discussion with them, let them know what's going on. If there is this transition occurring on that project. So it'll be, we'll keep you posted. But nothing else on this list. I particularly, like I said, was covered. Do you have questions on anything else? So you're good. Thank you. That's all I've got.
Chelsea.
This is. There's. Oh. They didn't hear anything else, but they heard that, right? Absolutely. So it goes. Great. Yeah. I have no yesterday. I mean, oh my gosh. Oh, thank you. Nice. Nice. That's she. 9. Took us 6 hours. But her mom, her grandmother. They're closed down.
I'll try to put something on the calendar.
They'll probably have things. Yeah, I will have to do for some.
Okay, good. That's what I was saying as well. The other guys can wait.
Yesterday. Yeah, no. Yeah, so. Yeah,
Day facilities and there's some stuff going around besides allergies.
Yeah.
People are starting to but the first.
Summer flu.
I don't know. What's it is, so I've never. Ice cream, I mean, Python iron train, some go back and then they came up and then we refill. But I'm back and forth. I'm the one who came to her. She's down now. I just have anything else to eat all the time. So I have to get it out for the last week. Cough so much.
You know, the weekend, just, I don't know if it's just the weather or. Yeah, just not feeling great.
Probably combination where she.
Yeah, I still think I'm trying to adjust.
For. The street.
Yeah. My third one today.
Okay, that's bad.
It's not bad, it's beginning.
Oh, okay.
Go ahead, argue with it.
I guess, how Jewish are you right now? Let's go.
Bring it on.
Get off camera.
You go right out there, play center. Center. Yeah.
Man.
Let's take a look at that budget.
Yeah.
What's your V8 flavor?
It's peach mango.
But it is the energy one too.
Yeah, but it's less than it.
See, in your third one today. Really?
Do you know how many cups of coffee I just?
You didn't tell the whole story. You just said V8. You didn't go V8 energy.
Fine.
So that's fine. She's misreading the label. It says less vegetables than a cup of coffee.
Oh. And wait a minute, peach isn't a vegetable.
Winning argument.
If you want to go back to your office now.
Yeah.
You get home, you can just hide in that old station wagon.
There you go. So you can take the station wagon for a ride, you kind of cool down. Well, it probably doesn't have air conditioning.
It does.
She just Amazon koozies so that she could hide.
Yeah. Slim fitting.
I thought they use the station wagon so you can buy them a case at a time.
Yeah.
Yeah.
If you're drinking 3 of them in the morning, yeah, you probably will need a case at a time. It's any consolation, I keep a 12-pack, I think the blueberry pomegranate or something. Every now and again, I'll mix it with something just for flavor.
It's better than the Red Bull I was drinking, so.
All right. Probably gets healthier.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay. Well, is it just because it says V8 in front?
Right.
Yeah,
Yeah,
Mhm.
okay, whatever.
makes me feel better.
Advertising citizenship edition.
Yeah.
So you actually read. what
Yeah,
it is.
Rich something come in my office and be like, you're drinking a Red Bull, everybody say hi.
So you fly through the office, right? It gives you a meeting.
Yeah.
Oh, man, I'm leaving that one alone. So I'm leaving that one alone.
Come on.
Watch it, David.
Here's the tea. Take the ball.
Room. Oh.
I see David's budget getting cut.
Yeah. You're making some revisions.
Yeah.
Revisions at the
CIP
moment.
stuff, I'm just gonna leave it off.
They're already signed.
You're really saving a lot of money. No public works, no ambulance.
What is your presentation, 10:45?
Yes.
How long are you anticipating? It's an hour and a half.
As long as it takes.
Yeah,
Okay.
that's why I'm at the end of meetings now, since I
Right.
wouldn't do the time.
Why does it matter?
Wait till you're
She
gone and then we're gonna
anticipates
cut your budget. Because
Yeah.
I'm trying to decide how long I'm gonna stay before I have to go eat.
it. I think you're asking the wrong person.
Yeah.
Well, yeah, I know, but
I have
But
no
just-
say in that.
Her intention is.
you can go ahead and leave.
This week was 20 minutes.
You can go ahead and leave, David. We'll make adjustments to your budget later. I'm not saying I don't trust you without saying I don't.
But she just said he don't trust you. Yeah.
They tried to get Bryant to buy the station wagon.
Yeah.
It was here on Friday, called him, so you have to come look at it.
Was he close? Did he actually go look at?
He did go look at
That's, you're halfway there.
it.
That's the easy part, though.
Yeah.
It's true. Why are you trying to get rid of your husband's station wagon?
I mean, I'm just helping him out.
It's the fact it's a station.
I mean, he wants to sell it. I was not actively trying to sell it until he was like, I think I'm ready to get rid of it.
And then you-
And now I'm like, that looks out. Let's get this thing gone.
Suddenly he's getting called, I want to come look at your car.
Yeah.
Who is this?
Even now it's phone number to everybody.
Poor guy. Child been dream car and
I'm sure that was not his childhood dream car. He is probably
Might have been his childhood car, but not a dream car.
He's had several vehicles, probably over 20 since he's started being able to drive. And so he's probably at least owned his dream car at some point in his life already.
My siblings and I, four of us, ages 9 through 6, maybe 5. Living in a country squire station wagon from Augusta, Kansas to New York City and back in 1966. And I remember we left the driveway and 4 kids were singing Barbara Ann. That was on the radio. I'm surprised any of us made it back alive.
Were roads even paved back then?
You know, a lot of times you had to pull over because a wagon would be coming through.
Oh, come on.
They had a blade on the front.
Yeah.
Made it.
And a plow on the back.
Just had to let the team pass.
In the mid-70s, we rode from Wichita to Washington DC in a pickup with a camper on the back. And everybody was up in the camper, you're playing cards, you could lay down and look out the window out the front.
Well, in a country squire station wagon, you could have 4 kids with their feet hanging out the back with the window down.
Yep. Oh,
Singing.
yeah. There is seatbelt in that vehicle.
No, I think they were hoping they'd have to make a sudden stop.
Single cab Ford truck, a camper shell.
Yep.
Fancy because it had the sliding glass and then the camper shell had the sliding glass and we were all in the back and we had a mattress that was on it. And that's where we went. Talked through. Yeah.
Oh, yeah.
Was great. Was good.
The cabins are both dust.
Oh, it was, right, absolutely.
Dust just covered everything. Yeah.
I had yards.
That's pretty good. Yeah, there's a danger.
We tossed them around like footballs.
Yeah. Makes you pay attention to the game.
It sure did.
Gives you focus. Possibility of injury.
No harm, no foul if you got it out in 10 seconds or less. So.
When it's embedded deep. You know.
Yeah, that's a little bit more problematic, but I mean, if it just barely pierces the skin, it's okay.
You know, they made the ones now that have that wall on the end supposedly safe. No,
Oh,
we still have
well,
our set on the farm.
The real ones, not the.
Real ones. So I'll never forget my brother, he was running with the hoop and he's like, I'm exploring with the hoop in the air and he's running and. Yep. Into the hoop. It's like, yeah,
We used to shoot roll.
we got smarter. We got.
Well,
We
that
still do that.
Yeah, but we were trying to hit each other.
My brothers, bedrooms across from each other upstairs, and they shot bottle rockets at each other one time.
You win.
We went around the neighborhood having fun with each other.
Bottle rockets in a room, that's.
That's a little.
My mom figured it out, and she found it's like where it burnt on the beds and burnt holes in the sheets. They just cut the holes and cut the burn parts.
I bet you figured that out.
That was after I was out of the
They
house.
really think they were gonna get away with that? Wow.
I know. I couldn't believe it.
How dangerous that is too. They could have set the house on fire.
And dangerous, major.
It's insurance.
It's all about the excitement of the stories. The memories last forever.
Yeah.
Yeah.
You could build a new
Even if the
house.
house.
Yeah, you can build a new house,
Yeah.
right? Can't build
What a
new
memory.
memories.
What a memory this place.
No, you can.
Bottle rockets and holes and blankets. I don't know how you're gonna top this, John, but I'm gonna give you a shot.
You're gonna kill the mood.
Yeah, I'm not confident. Mount Element Public Works to put a damper on your fun.
His license plate actually says.
I've seen it. I agree. Yeah. Got a picture of a cardinal next to it too, on top of it.
It does. On a couple things. I am requesting to go to APWA, the PWX conference in Atlanta, Georgia, on September 8th through the 11th. 4 days of conference at APWA. I don't know. I mean, it's the same stuff. You gotta know what it's like to go to these conferences type of things. APWA does a really good job at having 6, 8 different tracks that you can go through to put all of sewer, wastewater stuff in one, water and transportation things in another, facilities. And you can pick a certain track, or I like to jump around to different ones just to whatever is interest or what's happening here that might help. Trade show. You've seen KAC's trade show. This is 4 times bigger. It takes up a lot. It's got about anything and everything. A lot of them geared to a city, but there's a few things here that we are interested in, especially on the wastewater side and some of the road equipment. So we figured flights and stuff out from here. I'm not sure where I'll end up leaving from. I think my daughter's got a tournament in Springfield that Thursday and Friday, or before we would leave. But wherever we end up leaving from, these are the flights out of Manhattan.
Well, it says Manhattan and up above, so you can out of Kansas City.
Did she do that?
Yeah.
Well, not sure. We would look for the cheaper flight.
Yeah.
I would look for the cheaper flight to leave in Kansas City, probably get to.
And there's 2 of you going?
Well, just me, and my wife's thinking about coming, so we would figure out what our cheapest for us, for her to go. So. Yeah. Plenty of budget in there.
The crazy thing
Evan
about
did
it
not
is,
go to NACE this year.
crazy thing about all these conferences isn't really, when you think about the flights and the registration and all that, it's the hotels.
It's hotels.
$230 a night. These aren't 5-star locations. I mean,
Well, Atlanta is
So
a
they're-
big city.
best day, you know, to go to DC for NACO, that's just the Washington Hilton. I mean, the conference rooms and stuff are nice, but the restaurants, the service has gone down. The hotel rooms still have them from the 1980s. Your station wagon would fit good there.
In the 80s.
Actually, yours is in the 90s, isn't it? So, okay, well, same time frame. Believe me, I know, I grew up in it. So, yeah, so it's just like, gosh, I mean,
You're right. I've slept in that.
Oh,
I'm sorry, that was my.
That's everywhere, you know. In DC, at least you can, if you can get out, you can see some, do some sightseeing. Because that's.
Braves better not be paying the Cardinals that weekend.
I have not looked.
Yeah, I bet not.
Didn't even occur to them.
No, actually, me and Ed, my wife might have lived already.
Okay.
Let's see, we don't need a motion, I guess.
Yeah, we moved to approve. John Ellis.
I would second.
Okay, it's been moved to seconded to approve the out-of-state travel request for John Hellman and the public works department. All in favor? Aye.
Aye. Yeah, I was looking at the other.
Thank you. The next one here is federal fund exchange. You've seen it attached to the letter. We were allocated or obligated by KDOT
$207,013.14. 90 cents on the dollar is the exchange rate. 186,000 is what we would give back. I've got the project, our overlay project attached. So, well, I didn't do that. The first, I need your signature for the request to exchange. Telling them we are going to exchange. And when I send that, I'll send the exchange request for reimbursement.
Seems like that's up a little bit.
It's down.
It's down.
It's
194 something last year. Then I was thinking 164.
216 last year. And the year before that was 228. So it's been coming down
in the wrong direction.
Yeah. We're looking, part of that is whatever federal funds that are used to bridge low grading program. And some of the, where all the counties are part of or participate in, then they'll take that off the top of these obligated funds. And then do the formula to divide them up. We've got a couple more years on the low grading program. I believe maybe 26 is the last year. That's taken them longer, and then they, in the middle of doing them, they threw in the bigger fire truck, special equipment vehicles, 2-axle, heavy fire truck full of water. So now we have to post our bridges for those trucks. So that come off the top of there. And some of those other things that where all the counties participate and come off top of the obligated. With that, I'd like to put that into the CIP that we use for reserve for transportation projects, and that's part of this request.
Well, I will make a motion to approve that the chairman sign the request to exchange federal funds with the state of Kansas and to deposit those funds in CIP for use on a future transportation related project.
A second.
It's been moved and seconded to approve the chairman sign the request to exchange federal funds with the state of Kansas and to deposit the funds in CIP for use on a future transportation related project. All in favor?
Aye.
Thank you.
One sheet.
For something for the state, that's amazing.
Yeah, I mean, they really like to butcher trees, you know? Okay. Yeah, that's.
Reminder. These text message reminders, because they call you constantly.
Oh.
Yeah, doctor, this is the.
They call you like 10 days in advance and then every other day up to the 24-hour point and then 2
Yeah, even
hours.
the morning, I got one the other day, the morning before the afternoon.
Like, yeah, I know, I've got a doctor's appointment. Tell me one more time, just in case.
I went in and said, take me out. I'm getting from. She's the one that's not she experience. She was it's really just this is he has no idea. That's so she this is
Good morning, Commissioners. Brittany Phillips, Budget and Finance Officer, here to discuss our second budget work session. The only thing that has changed, from what I presented on Thursday is that I added in the $60,000 appropriation to, I put it on the line for the animal shelter, but it'll go to Prairie Paws. And so that is the only thing that changed, which is, changed the mill levy difference from the 2024 budget just slightly. So those are the only changes that I have made at this time. And then I added in a line just so, because it was brought up on Thursday about our budget stabilization and where that's located. It's in the general services. And we did budget a $250,000 increase, which is in line with our financial policy.
Go ahead.
I don't know, I was wanting to look at appropriations in this list of a lot of stuff that I don't consider appropriations.
Yeah.
Say that again, I'm sorry.
Yeah, was what I said, I wanted to try to get an idea of what we've been spending on
Oh,
appropriations.
gotcha. Okay.
But there's a bunch of stuff on this list that I don't consider appropriations. RCPD is something we have to do. You know, extension and community corrections. Community corrections is something, but I don't consider that appropriation. I think it's something to do.
We have to
Extension
do.
is something we have to do.
Yeah.
And that's why I was wanting to see what we actually spend on it. And then the indigent panel, again, that's not a optional, is it? We don't have to pay that.
Well, you have to pay for the
some-
service.
We have to pay
You
for the
do.
services one way or another. So
You
that's
do.
not,
But that's not a,
what I thought of appropriations was just the non-required items.
Yeah,
That might not be the exact definition, but that was my definition.
Maybe optional appropriation.
Optional.
Yeah, the optional. I mean, I realize everything is a fact of appropriation, but
Sure, technically, I mean, for budget, for the world of budgeting. You know,
Yeah. other than had an ambulance by like $1 million.
Now, that's truly optional. Who really needs an ambulance?
Yeah.
Show of hands here, anybody need one right now?
You're not.
No, I think you're okay.
Long darts.
Get people fired up.
Throw one sword stick. We're gonna have a whole new section of reasons for polls.
Yeah, oh, no.
We're calling them Clancyisms.
yeah, don't you have a indigent panel in your budget, your administrative?
No, that's
Don't have
not
it
something, no.
It's somewhere.
The service that we have is funding the VOTA accounts. That we do pay
Okay.
out of our budget. We routinely have done that. And we routinely make a request for that.
The panel gets paid out of the general services department.
Oh, that's why it's in general service.
Yes.
Yeah, I looked at all the ones that were over 20% increase. And in the appropriations, I came up with there were about 6 of them. And emergency shelter is up 127.27%. Genealogical up 42.8. We've got Pawnee is up 100%. Community corrections, that's something that's up 46.5. The ATA bus, I don't recall what that was for. It was 50% more.
50%.
50%, so it shows the ATA bus it's percentage change 50%. It's
So
on,
that's from, yeah, the 23 approved to the 24 requested.
Yeah.
It was a 50% increase. I don't remember what they asked for. I didn't specifically.
This says 24 budgeted was 105.
Yeah, budgeted was approved was
So it's-
105,000.
okay.
43%, which they're posting at 50.
And for 2025, they asked for.
Okay, I'm looking at the 24 numbers.
Yeah.
Okay, I don't know. Printed this. That was on my sheet, I guess, didn't have the 25.
Yeah, from the 24 approved to the 25 requested for out of us, it is a 42% increase.
Okay.
$45,000. I think that was just gas and maintenance, I think. I remember right.
Yeah, I couldn't remember. I know things change from year to year, but can't we put some sort of a cap on appropriation?
That's why I wanted to see what actual appropriations for each year and kind of work with establishing the cap. We're gonna
Yeah.
spend this much. We'll divide it up,
Yeah, I'd
and
like
maybe
to
even
see
a
a cap.
percent or, a mill. We're gonna do 1 mill or 1.5. We need numbers to see how much it is each year.
Well, I think then we have to give a clear definition as to what we think appropriation is then.
That's, yeah, like I say, that's what I was getting.
Should be outside agencies.
But again,
Then technically RCPD is an outside agency. I mean, that's where you get into that's where you get into the stuff on it.
That's what I'm saying, look at the non-mandatory ones.
Yeah.
And maybe you say instead, I suggested optional, that doesn't sound good, maybe discretionary or something.
Yeah, maybe that is, yeah.
Discretionary.
But like
I
I
don't
say,
know if that's bad,
RCD
but-
is, should be in there, and extensions.
Yeah, that one doesn't need to be in
And the
there.
indigent panel is a part of that. Good, that's why I just like to see what the numbers have been, really in relation to what the mill levy is each, not the mill levy, but I don't know what you call it, the cost of the worth of each mill, you call it. The value of a mill, value of that, I couldn't figure out, remember the term.
Mill levy difference from previous.
The other thing in looking, and I realized that I've got, since this was the animal shelter, we added that back in. Somewhere I thought.
I don't have an amount listed in here for 2024 because of any
Right,
original.
because we didn't pay it, yeah.
Right.
But I'm saying for this year, or we were saying for next year, I was assuming 60. But
Yes.
that's just for animal shelter.
That's it.
Yeah.
And we may have something additional for animal control if we need to work something out with the city. But hopefully that animal shelter is gonna come down from there and get the numbers, not what's there. Well, that, what the animal shelter control is gonna be.
I would assume not, but I think it's
No.
tough to believe it, but
So I don't know if we need to put more in there too. Like I said, I'm not in favor of increasing budget, but I just want to make sure we've got things covered too.
understand.
Do we have any idea what animal control would cost?
No, that's why I was talking to Brian earlier, and he said he hasn't got any kind of numbers from him yet.
No, because they
We don't have
they basically, we were told that we first need to have a contract for the
Right.
shelter.
Yeah. That's, and again, that's what it's totally about. Yeah. Mr. Zimmer, we don't know anything about animal control, because they said we had to have that in place before they even talked to us. And Brian said he has meetings set up with them to start talking about it.
Yeah, we'll find out pretty quick. I think what that number's gonna be.
Yeah.
But we just don't have it.
And again, I hope that is a for animal feed, but
We don't, at this point, we don't know if any services.
yeah.
We just don't know.
Yeah. Like I say, it sounds like it's been a problem with the city for a long time. Like I said, they used to come do it in the county not too many years ago.
Right.
And then they,
Well, they've got some jurisdictional questions about that, so. And there's still the outlying issue of where are they gonna be located?
yeah,
I know that hasn't been a point of discussion recently. Yeah.
but yeah. Nobody wants them.
Well, it's not that.
Yeah. Fire department, I don't think that's.
They haven't seemed
I don't think
excited.
they volunteered to do that.
No, I don't think there was, well, it did appear there was wild enthusiasm. But
Yeah.
just as any department that suddenly has a fairly big job.
Yeah.
I think the reaction here would be the same.
Yeah. No, not surprised, but yeah, it's it's not something everybody wants to do, but something's needed. Yeah, I don't know, is that an optional one, or do we need to? As the county, I don't know if the county's required, but it's something
Well,
people expect us to do.
and it's more in that category. It's expected. Isn't there a statutory obligation for it? No.
Yeah.
There's not.
But it is expected. Well, I know.
That really,
I've not heard about it.
the political decision more than it's not a statutory mandate. I'll tell you that. So it then becomes a political decision. It would be lawful to fund it in any level that you saw fit to do so, and you thought the budget made sense. But I know that's of no help. But I mean, that's the truth.
We're used to that, Clancy, don't worry.
I'm proud to continue the tradition.
Well, so what if they come up with a price that is totally out of reach or,
You don't have to accept it.
and so then we're back to where we are. Well,
Right.
we've got the shelter for them, but no control.
That could be where it ends up. Possible. I have no way of knowing.
Yeah, I know. It's,
Well, a couple of these are 100% or over 100% increase, and I don't think we should do that.
I agree.
You know. Like the emergency shelter is a great thing, but 127% increase. Jumping from 11 to 25,000, that's quite a jump. I know I'm sure they need it. It's like, what can we do? County mental health is 100%.
but they've had that request for a couple of years, or at least last year.
Yeah, well, emergency shelter's been at that since 18, so
Yeah.
6 years.
I mean, the Council on Aging, I think, you know, they've really had a problem getting meals to citizens, you know, that's. Some of these agencies can have fundraising arms that they can raise more funds. Some not.
Council on Aging, I know, because I've heard from the senior meals in small towns, their prices, what they're charging the people going there is doubled in the last 2 years because
You gotta pay somebody to do it.
Mm.
Start
agency
with.
hasn't given them the funds to. I said, well, we've cut down, Riley only does it 2 weeks a month instead of every week. Right, yeah, that's what, and I have to dig out their request. I'd like to see increase there. Then, all right, there's one Aldrin, maybe one in Senior. We can start seeing what's out there. Well, they're all there. There's something on their list, but I think I need to dig, I meant to dig out, and I forgot to get out their request.
They go to all they go to most of the unincorporated, or the incorporated towns, right?
Yeah.
They're all in Weatherville and, you know.
I just looking at the numbers, I think we're at a range where look at this right, we can get it down to that revenue dude. I'm not saying every year, this, I'm saying this one. So it's still a stretch, but the taxpayer around here is hurting really bad. I don't think it's gonna improve through other means. I just don't.
No, a couple areas that I see. One, sales tax, 2.2 and in 23, it should say in 2, but it's slightly under this year, but again, it's well over 2.2 this year. I think people are spent, probably buying less because of inflation, but they're still spending the money.
It's because of inflation, we're getting the sales tax is what I think, yeah, because the prices are higher.
Yeah.
They're charging more on the actual sales tax. I don't.
That could be raised a little bit. The biggest one is the investment income. Because this year we're on schedule, based on what we've got so far, we're going to be over 3 million this year. Try to say 1.5 next year does not make sense. And like I said, the Fed just said they're holding rates. They're not going to cut the rates in half.
No.
Between now and January 1.
No.
I'd like to see that moved up to 2.5.
So where is that?
Well, that was using like a 3.5% interest rate. So I know right now we are getting over 5, but I just hesitate to. I mean, I can look at it again, but.
Can we bump it up?
Plus, right now, we have quite a bit, well, I guess never mind, that's a little point. I don't know, I just have tended to keep that somewhat conservative, but just with the unknowns. The only thing I could do is put some more and lock some things in right now in some investments that would guarantee a rate for next year. I can definitely look at that.
Okay.
I don't see any rate ways to cut in half. And what we're doing this year.
So do you want us to put the investment income at 2.5 million?
That's my opinion.
Well, I would feel more comfortable looking at it
Okay.
and seeing if running some more numbers, and I'll come back with. And then on sales tax, once again, I've been very conservative. I can look what the averages over the last 3 years have been and come back with a different number on that as well.
Okay. I do agree on the appropriation side, though. We need to adjust some of those down, or at least set a cap, a percentage cap at least.
Like I say, that's why I wanted to see what we've done before, so we can get down just to one. We can agree, I guess, of which ones we consider. Which ones which ones take off of this list. Also on Adabus, we've got 2 lines.
Yes, so one of
And
them,
I think it's been explained before, but I don't remember it.
yeah, there's, and hopefully John knows more than I do, but, Public Works pays 20,000 of that. They have, I believe there's a contract or something in place that, they pay it out of their budget for that.
There's certainly a history of that.
Okay, yeah,
That's about the most I can tell you.
Yeah.
Just from memory.
yeah, so they
What's
include
that
that.
for?
I don't know.
I couldn't, yeah, I'd have to get that information back for you.
Okay, I just wondered what.
Yeah, I don't remember. Yeah, I don't think they made a request to us.
Yeah, they don't put it in the request, but they've been getting it every year.
Yeah.
They include it in their overall request, when they present it.
Okay.
And I'll look and see why
what that's
See
specifically.
what exactly that covers.
Okay, going down the list, we got, let's see.
I was thinking maybe increase the emergency shelter by maybe $5,000.
That's, that would be more reasonable. So like 16,000 then instead of 25.
That puts 20, my math right, 20,000 back on the table.
Mhm.
What about Pawnee?
Yeah, what do we do with that?
I was thinking,
And we have, look back, it's been about, well, no, we've been. Cause it was 213 back in
Yeah.
18, it's been.
we bumped it up in 2019 to the total of 300,000 and it's
Okay,
stayed
so it's
consistent
stayed
since
consistent.
then. I'm thinking 100,000
Before.
yeah. That frees up.
So what percentage, figure out what percentage cap that would
That'd be
be?
33%.
Yeah.
Because we did give them office space, maintenance and all that. That's a big check.
It never gets discussed in these negotiations.
Yeah.
So maybe just 50,000.
I'd be comfortable with it.
Changing Pawnee to 50, sorry.
350.
Yeah. Maybe the genealogical society just stays the same.
I'm sorry, you want to keep genealogical society at 5,000 or drop it back down to 35?
The same as 24, yeah.
Okay.
The council made you, but I want to get their list of where the money was and adjust using that. So. Like that copy.
And then- This maybe roll back $100,000 out of the stabilization. Just put 150,000 instead of 250,000. We've got a $4 million total. I mean, we're not.
Michael,
Let's see,
250 until we get farther along. Yeah. See what other adjustments we can make. Okay.
the community corrections, does that have in it the amount the Clay Center is going to be?
Yes, that's already been deducted.
That's been done, okay.
So that appropriation amount for community corrections is after Clay County's and the state's increase in funding for road services. Commissioner McKinley, what did you say about council and HHS study?
That's when you look at their breakdown, because they had their thing broke down in 6 or 8 categories for the money, but I wanted to look at that.
Okay, do you have that, or would you guys like me to send it back out?
I think of it, wouldn't hurt to send that. I've got
Okay.
it somewhere, but
Yeah.
Send that back out.
I can check with the common table people, because they usually come up with a price per meal, for all the meals. See what they're
There's
doing.
still a way, Elizabeth, to adjust community corrections over maybe 2 years instead of full year where it's not 46%.
You obviously have that choice, but it will affect services, so we'll have to do something. I mean, it's straight with personnel, so it would have to be not filling a position, like we right now have the ISO place center. And I'm just spitballing here, so I mean, I'm not saying that I have the only ideas in my head, but not filling place center would be an option, continuing with or filling place center and continuing with the director open. And the entire increase is personnel, so it's not a program.
you'll want to watch that too when you start making those changes, because there's a base by statute. When you start funding that, part one did, then if you, I'm not saying those things even fit in the base, but if you go below that, then the state funding drops.
Yeah, there is a.
You just have to match.
Yeah.
Well, it's not a true match. It's not a match. It goes by what you did the prior year.
And Clancy has been very adamant about that, and John, you probably remember, but, once we started funding, then we can never go. We've got to continue that, or it affects the state funding, and I don't know that that means we have to increase that amount, but.
All I'm saying is just be aware of that as you get
And that's
creative.
previously that was part of the Adam bus thing, is their match, because there are certain funds available, but they don't have enough local match to get all of those. And that was part of their request too.
Yeah, and that's a little bit different, but it's the
It's
same
different, but
idea.
it's
Yeah,
the-
and there are other grants that have matching requirements too. Yeah.
That's when you said that reminded me that's what.
Yeah, this is
talked
something
about.
different in like
Oh, I know.
state statute because the way that they were responsible, that they pushed it down to the counties.
Well, it's not just the counties, it's how they went about
Redistricting.
doing the districts along with the counties, and they developed a formula for it. And it's well beyond my
That's what I'm
ability to
saying,
do
it's
math, so
complex.
yeah. I don't even think they know the actual formula, to be honest with you, but.
So bottom line is, yes, you can give community corrections. I mean, I'm sure it doesn't require the 46% increase, but it would require you guys to decide then services.
You just have to identify that base and you just stay at or above it. Whatever that is, it's not abundantly clear
No, that is
what
not.
the base would be. It talks about operations.
It's also about fairness and in consideration with all the other departments. I mean, all the other departments aren't getting it's not a huge amount to start with, but I mean, I understand that there was some errors involved in the situation, but still.
That's what I was gonna point out is the other departments accurately funded their personnel.
Yes.
And at some point, that's gonna hit us, right? If you want to continue the same services, that's gonna hit us. So I mean, just you guys, it's a really hard decisions, but something has to give on one side or the other.
That's why the big increase last couple of years is for them to be funded, for the personnel to be, for them to be paid the same rate as, not the same rate, but.
On the same pay scale.
Yeah, that pay scale.
Keep them, yeah, absolutely. And
It's understandable because also by AG opinions, even though they've been traditionally entirely funded by the state, they were always county employees.
Yes.
Which is bizarre.
Exactly. And so we can't, it's so difficult to say, well, you're not, because they're not state employees or we wouldn't have them on our pay scale. There are employees who then legally need to be on our pay scale, but they're mandated by the state.
Yeah.
Because it does open us risk to not have them on our pay scale, to have a segmented group on our pay scales. But yeah, and it's very difficult.
Do we get any credit at the state for providing and maintaining office space for that?
No.
Well, we put it in as in kind. We tell them that we have that in kind, but no. And it's often.
Does it consider that kind of vacancy?
We say it, but they ignore it, basically.
I mean, we don't see any financial.
Yeah.
Offset for that. And I mean, obviously, I think it's a great benefit that Clay County is now going to support that, but if we decide to cut services somewhere, that may, again, it's gonna come down to our decision on your price.
But part of this, like I say, in the last 2 years was trying to get them up to the pay scale. But because of mistakes were made, we didn't. That's why it's a bigger jump this year, is because the other ones, the numbers weren't correct last time.
Yeah, we had errors and we did not fully.
That we didn't catch, and I realized it's been how many millions, 50 million.
Yeah.
So in 26, it should go down.
Well, it should not be consistent. They shouldn't expect 46% increase.
No,
Well,
okay.
and to be clear, the 46% is from the 23 approved to the 24 request. So the 25 request is only a 10.88% increase. It's not a 45% increase. From
40. I think that's important too.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, and so when we had the issue, when we didn't get it correct, that was 46, but we got it.
I'm not buying that.
Well, there's a lot more transparency and Brittany has figured out.
I understand that, but I know moving forward, that's not gonna be an issue. but-
Yes, that's what I'm saying, is I think.
Somewhere along the way, it was requested wrong. So we're never really gonna understand what the actual percentage probably was. And I'm not expecting
No,
you,
that's-
I'm
yeah.
not expecting you to
And
figure that
I
out.
would say that's accurate, and I think I tried to go back to the 23 request and spent a few hours on it and realized it's probably not really worth the time when we're just trying to get things right moving forward.
And you're right, we can't.
Right.
Kind of make you want to take the station wagon out because I really want.
You know, maybe.
She's really gonna have to get rid of that, isn't she?
Yeah, I think so. They should be.
It's the common ground I have for people to talk to me. Are there any other appropriations you guys wanted me to adjust or bring back for consideration, send you more information on?
So far, how many cut?
You got your final number today.
Yeah. Right now, we've got a 5.88% increase. That's the threshold, and I'm,
Is that what's in here?
It is, so I pulled it from last law board meeting where they chose option number 3, and so that's where I pulled the.
there technically is an option number 4, and it's like a 4.98. 4.89 or 4.9, somewhere just a little bit below, but yeah.
Got one of those final ones after today.
Yeah.
Yeah, if anything changes, I mean, if it changes today, I'll change the number to reflect that. Okay, so just to recap, I have emergency shelter, you want to increase it by $5,000 from the 2024. Pawnee only increased by $50,000. Genealogical Society, drop it back to the 3,500. Council on Aging, I'm sending out their budget requests to you all again and drop this budget stabilization down to 100,000 from the 250,000.
I think we're gonna hold off on, we're gonna look at that, but we're gonna hold off on that one and make that a late one if we need to.
Yep.
That's
a possibility,
you know. And Shiloh was gonna work on her numbers on
Yes.
sales tax and
Yep,
investment.
Shiloh's gonna average out sales tax and we're gonna run the numbers again for investment income, and I'm also gonna get you the information for the 20,000 from us for public works.
Yeah.
Anything else? David left, so we can start cutting his budget.
Okay, take $1 million off. We'll put the name on the building. There may be some signage we have to come up. That's the trade-off. We're gonna do sponsorship around here differently.
Naming rights, gets his name.
Yeah.
There's a
It's $1 million cost, and he has no choice. It's not voluntary.
It looks like insurance cost has gone up quite a bit.
Yes,
That's one nice way of putting it.
Why?
yeah, and I can send you my budget presentation again on that, but the huge increase is specifically because of all the storms we've been having, right? So we've been working with our insurance agent, and even at our lowest, like the very bottom that they could get us, it was still a drastic increase. I mean, our 2024 numbers that we're gonna spend is more than what we had budgeted.
Okay. Have we made a claim?
Not on any health stuff, but just overall, when I asked her, I think it was about like a 20% increase across the board that people are seeing. Especially like the hail buyback insurance, that increased a lot because there are so many claims in the state of Kansas.
If you're looking at it, that's like an 80% from 23
Yeah.
to 25.
Oh, absolutely.
It's gonna be like an 80% increase.
Yeah. From what I budgeted, or sorry, from what was budgeted in 24 to what I'm actually estimating for 24. And my 24 estimate to the 25 is a 25% increase.
Really keep my bill on a couple of months.
I think I am gonna make a claim.
We could go
That'll
up.
teach her. It's gonna go up anyway. So at least I get something out of it. Mine's gone up like almost $50 over the last 2 cycles. So I must get something out of it.
Are there any other changes that you would like me to bring back, commissioners?
Not at the moment.
Okay.
Can I couple of things, but we wait.
Okay. Well, thank you, commissioners.
This is only 70%. 2 years.
Yeah.
70%. Yes, it's
Insurance, yeah, 70%.
71% from 23 to 25.
Yeah, well, they base it on, we've had it all over the state of Kansas.
Yeah.
They base it on that then.
Yeah.
So why didn't they base it on that before? This is a new phenomenon that happens all the time. They're just doing it because they can.
What are they paying, their top executives? They're
Yeah,
paying
right.
them millions of dollars.
Our last minute.
Yeah.
The one thing I want to assume you guys, it looks like you guys all got that email from Protectors Without Limits Association.
Yeah.
I tried looking them up. I can't find them.
Oh, really?
The only place the name was listed is he did file papers with the state to be something recently. But in his email talks about, we've been doing this and this. Well, it doesn't even show up until a month ago.
I picked up on the thought that if you're a 501c3 and you're doing fundraising, you're not gonna do it under the guise of a local government. That's not
Right.
even legal.
Well, it just, that,
Or
I read through it a
definitely.
couple times and it still didn't make sense.
Yes, I kind of thought it was,
I was not responding.
I didn't either. I thought it was,
Yeah,
I
me
kind
neither.
of threw it off into spam and kind of thought that's what it was. And not that
It was,
yeah.
well, if you look at it, the guys list his name, the president and founder of that, whatever that is.
Legally.
Yeah, president and founder of that thing that's wanting to raise money for some, just to do good for people.
One thing when you like send me an email about some kind of a service or product or something, it's another when you're talking about fundraising. Gentlemen should know better than that.
Mhm.
Anybody
But
should
also
know
say,
better than
yeah,
that.
do we have a place that will let them run a mud bog?
I don't even know what that is, but no,
Where
we
they
don't.
drive through-
We don't have enough space for ourselves, much less.
Make a
the
mud
people.
hole and drive through it. Yeah, that's what we want to have.
Yeah.
Property.
Yeah.
Okay, I thought ignoring it was the best.
And I didn't get the other gentleman's email till this morning, so I didn't get a chance to respond, so.
Zimmerman.
Yeah, I can kind of understand his concerns. I've been equally frustrated through the process, but
And that's why I tried to make
yeah.
it. We've been frustrated too, and that's why we're finally getting a handle.
Yes.
Trying to get a handle on it.
Well, and I thought since, it's Greg's district, that if you responded, that's.
Yeah. Yes, I saw that first thing this morning. I kind of unplugged over the weekend. I wasn't feeling real good and I kind of unplugged from everything. So
I was looking through all this stuff last night and finishing up stuff after the meeting and
Your
that popped up, so I.
eyes cross-eyed.
well, I mean, unfortunately, it's just kind of the budget at the moment. It's not heavy sided with anything else. Everything's going smooth. I keep hearing what's going on with the city and other entities, and I'm kind of happy where I'm at, to be honest.
Me
with
too.
you. I know, maybe that sounds a little biased, but I'm kind of happy where I'm sitting. So there's some tough decisions coming down the pike. Yeah, it just is.
That's, it's just too much. It's always something,
Well, as I explained to the group I was talking to on Saturday, when that aquatic center started out as basic concept, it was like $8 to $12 million approximate. It was a couple of years ago, so you had 5%, 10%, whatever, but it would still fit in the bounds of that quality of life tax that's out there. And yes, you have to extend it, but you wouldn't be increasing taxes. You're just extending you're gonna extend it one way or the other for some purpose. Whether you repurpose it or you do it for that or not, I mean, that's just how all the
tax away.
right. You never take it back off for the one purpose. We all know that. So you extend it and you could get the $8 to $12 million to build that through that with some other big philanthropic ideas or whatever. And it's simple, but
They want
well,
to tear down stuff and move things
To
around.
maintain, to keep it open.
yeah. Well, I mean, $8 to $12 million is going to be a lot less than $40 million, but you're probably looking at $4 million a year.
To keep it up,
Yeah.
because, and I still remember when after they built the,
If you can find enough people to work to actually operate and maintain it.
find enough lifeguards. to keep it
Correct.
open. That when they opened the water park, more
Yeah.
stuff of downtown, the big thing. I remember after the first year, they got the whole year, they got the numbers from parks, and they go, we're losing money on that thing. Like they were surprised. I mean, pools, everything you read, municipal pools lose money. I mean, it's a benefit to the public. It's not a money maker.
Yeah.
It's not ever even gonna, I mean.
You don't see private organizations building pools. And just for that reason.
You know.
It might be incorporated into a gym like Genesis or something like that. And
But I mean, it's a
they make enough money to offset it.
It's a benefit to the
Yeah.
community. It's not supposed to be a money making or even break even.
But
And I don't,
gosh, you shouldn't have to lose millions of dollars in the equation though either. And there is a balance with that. And it's just, anyway. I didn't have anything else. I do have the law board meeting.
Yeah.
I would probably suggest that fourth option will get discussed. Whether or not it'll come up and, get passed or seconded or whatever, I don't know. I'm probably figuring that it'll land on that 5.88. So just stay aware. And for me, the big struggle there with them is it's insurance for them too. They may be finding themselves in a situation where they're not going to be able to be insured. There's not enough insurance companies that does law enforcement insurance. So,
detention centers.
yeah. So that's something that they're really going to have to work out over the course of however many years, probably. But some of the changes they did within their internal structure and personnel probably could have shored up a few things, and they could have slipped in the last part of that salary survey and probably been okay for next year and then reevaluated. So that's why it's still rather high.
Well, I'd like to make a motion to adjourn the June 17th meeting of the Board of Riley County Commissioners.
Second.
Been moved and seconded to adjourn the meeting of the Riley County Commission. It's June 17th, 2024. All in favor?
Aye.
Member, Good Morning Manhattan. Some idiot speaking, I can't remember.
Yeah, I don't know if I can make it. We'll have to listen to it all.
Depends on how I feel.
Oh, dear.